And we're joined by Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall with a delicious spring dish that's packed full of goodness. I love this new book, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I've already been trying out some of the recipes.
How are they working for you?
She's such a swot, Hugh.
No,
Honestly, I can't
love
tell
it.
you.
I did the summer salad and it was delicious.
Lovely, lovely.
So what are you going to make for us today?
Well, the idea of the book is that we want to eat 30 plants a week.
That sounds like quite a lot.
It does sound like quite a lot, but there's some amazing science that tells us that to have a nice, healthy gut with the great gut biome diversity, we need a great diversity of foods.
Right.
But the important thing is we need to remember that plant foods come in many, many guises and shapes and sizes. Yeah. And obviously the fresh salad and the tomatoes and the fresh veg and fruit is all great. But the thing that probably most of us could do with a real boost of is things like pulses, nuts, seeds, and spices, and they all make a contribution. All those plant foods have incredible micronutrients in them that combine together to help nurture our gut, and that actually is where we get health outcomes that allow us to fight heart disease and even beat certain types of cancer. Yeah. This is an amazingly powerful way to eat. Well,
I saw in the book there's a coffee recipe with turmeric in it.
Yeah,
that I'm going to try.
Coffee and turmeric morning shot.
Yeah.
But really the idea is that whenever you're cooking, you're taking an opportunity to pile in loads more plants. So
go on, then.
Today I'm going to make some fish cakes. I've got some lovely, sustainable haddock here.
Nice.
Chunky going in. And I'm going to give it a boost with some incredible fresh herbs. I've got parsley, chives, and also a few chopped capers. So that's 3 more plants going straight in, and they all count to that
I suppose
plant
you don't
count.
normally think about, I don't know, capers.
You wouldn't add them as a plant necessarily.
But of course they are, of course.
Yeah, so when, we've been talking about 5 a day, people tend to focus on that. That's fresh fruit and veg. But all of these plants are making a contribution to that healthy gut microbiome.
You've just put
That's
in there?
A dab of English mustard just to give it a little pinch of flavour, some black pepper and a little bit of salt. So I like to pulse up the fish and the herbs and then combine it with the potatoes. So I'm just going to give that a little blitz.
And what kind of potatoes are you using, Hugh?
So these are actually new potatoes. So they're a little bit waxy, but you just need to cook them a tiny bit longer. Now, that can come straight out.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got some here that's pre-mixed. There's a bit of a rattle on that. So that's going to go straight in. And I've managed to sneak an extra plant in here because I've got some celeriac.
Wow.
So I like to get a little bit of root in there along with the potato.
Hugh, what's your top tip for chopping up celeriac? Because I feel unless you've got a machete or an axe or something, it's practically impossible.
Funnily enough, I find one of those little paring knives and you cut it in half first.
Right.
Because otherwise it's so big, isn't it? And then
enormous.
you go down the edges of the half.
Oh, OK, so you sort of just peeling it almost.
Peeling it away, gently and firmly.
And I mean, you do that. Have you tried to break one of those things or chop them?
Yeah, they're really tricky.
But you know what? The celeriac, once it's washed, the skin makes really nice crisps. You can roast them in the oven. So there's a sort of zero waste approach to using up all the veg.
On the weekend.
So once you've mixed them all together, we're going to form them into nice cakes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to finish these guys off. So it's always... This is one of the things I really enjoy in cooking. It's a little bit of a project, but this thing, chefs, we call it pane. It's when you put a crumb on something. Yeah. You've got to get your 3 bowls ready. A little bit of flour, a little bit of beaten egg, and then the crumbs. So I'll show you how to do it with the fish cake. Maybe you'd like to have a go, Kat.
Okay.
Just follow me.
Okay.
So we've got...
I have just washed my hands before
We're going in the flour first.
Yes.
Flour before egg, because that's important to get a dry surface to stick on the egg.
Oh, OK.
So then into the egg. You are going to get floury, eggy fingers doing this.
I don't mind. I also have a 6- and an 8-year-old who I think
they will enjoy
love this.
Now, here's a little bit of fun. I'm adding some seeds, chia seeds and sesame seeds to the crumb.
Excellent.
That's 2 more plants going in.
2 more plants going in.
Just going to give them a little stir.
Do you know the plant count we're up to right now?
We are...
We're certainly in double figures. We're certainly in double figures.
I was thinking that.
By the time we've got the crumb on, and then just give it...
And you can be sort of quite rough and ready with it then.
Yeah, look at that. There's a nice, generous coating of crumb. And I've got 1 more space to fill on the tray here. So that's going in the corner. So the other fun trick with...
Do you often do your cooking, Kat, with all your jewellery on like this? I mean, it feels like
You're doing a fantastic job there, Kat.
I always feel like if you wear diamonds as you are cooking fish cakes, it just adds to the flavour.
As you are doing the penne.
I'm liking that, the contrast between the jewellery and the crumb. It's fantastic. But you've done a brilliant job there. Maybe just... my tray is full, so just pop that one there.
Sure.
Pop that one there.
Thank you.
These are roasted in the oven, these fish cakes, which is really, really great. I'm just going to give my hands a quick
I'll
rinse.
do that.
You'll want to do the same. And actually, that means you need a bit less fat. But what you do is you brush your tray, and I'm using a little bit of coconut oil here.
Oh, OK.
So I've brushed the tray, and then I brush the surface. They're going to go into an oven.
Yep.
And... then they roast. They roast for about 10, 12 minutes on one side, and then we flip them over.
Hugh, can I ask you a question? Do you put the fish cakes in the fridge or anything like that before you start doing this?
So that's what... once you've mashed this mixture and formed your cakes, it's a good idea, if you're not in a rush, to just give it 20 minutes in the fridge so they're a bit firmer for when you do the dippy thing. How satisfying did you find that? It's a nice job, isn't it?
Thoroughly satisfying.
It's always great getting your fingers in there and amongst it, isn't it?
Notice you didn't, though.
It's
Would it spoil your manicure?
It's always interesting watching you get your fingers in there and getting dirty.
I think the point's been made, Ben.
I'm saving myself for the taste.
Right, well, we could do that right now. We've got some here that just came out the oven a few minutes ago, because you've got to be a little bit careful. They are piping hot when they come out of the oven. So we've got a lovely, crispy, seedy crumb. You see how they're not greasy. If you deep fry them in a frying pan, they can get a little bit greasy. But if you'd like to, why don't you mix up a salad there as well?
OK.
That's the bit of green salad. So we're adding another 4 or 5. We've got fennel, lettuce, chives and parsley. Chives and parsley doubling up on what's in the fish cake.
They've got them in already.
But we've also got a little bit of tomato salad with some red onion and garlic and some dressing. Do you want to put a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil on the salad? Sure. And Ben, maybe dish up the fish cakes.
And it's all about what's in your fridge, isn't it? Because that summer salad that I made, I didn't have sorrel and I didn't have butter lettuce, so instead I used...
What's sorrel?
Sorrel's a lovely kind of sharp salad leaf that's just coming up in the spring. It's a really nice one. Great with fish. But you're absolutely right, Kat. You know, whenever I do a cookbook, all my recipes have lots and lots of suggestions for swaps. So if you haven't got one green, use another. If you haven't got lentils, use butter beans or another pulse. These things are never set in stone. I like to be free and easy, relaxed. Little bit of green salad needs a toss there, Ben, and then I think you guys can plate up.
Amazing.
Is there a plate for me?
Is there not?
Don't worry. I'll just have a fork. I'll just fork myself.
Listen, you share mine.
Straight out of the tray.
Yeah, you share mine.
OK.
Go.
But yeah, so I do like to cut this with a little bit of sharp tomato, onion and garlic and some green salad. And one of these fish cakes is quite hearty. You can actually, if you make a batch like this, you could cook 4 now, and once you've crumbed them, you can freeze the other 4. So I know there's a big thing now for that batch cooking. People love to get ahead.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bit of a thing. So freezing the fish cakes after you've crumbed them before you cook them is great, and then you've got another 4 fish cakes for next week. There you go, guys.
They're still really firm, aren't they? It's great.
Yeah, no, they come together really, really well. And hopefully a little bit of a flavour boost with those seeds and the herbs in the middle of the fish cake.
And the mustard. Mustard in there as well.
Those seasonings make a big difference, don't they?
This is going to sound weird, but not too fishy either. Which...
Not too fishy.
I know that's a weird thing to say, but...
Well, you guys found me some lovely fresh fish, which is great. But the herbs, they pack a punch, they lift the flavour. They make the whole thing really, really nice to eat. And then a bit of tang from the salads on the side. Oh. You enjoying that?
Delicious. Nice glass of cold rosé with that.
I reckon we've pretty much halfway to our 30 plants a week just from what we've got on our plates today.
Amazing.
He doesn't like to brag, but we're halfway there already.
Good luck with the book.
It's a beautiful book.
Thank you so much, guys.
A big launch of the book tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Down the road in Shepherd's Bush.
Big party. There's a history at the venue you're going to launch this.
You've got to be careful, because people are going to rock up. There might still be a couple more tickets to be had. Bush Hall this evening.
It'll be brilliant stuff. For all the details of the recipes, you can go to the free This Morning app. Thank you, Hugh.
Delicious.
Lovely to be here.
Delicious.